I have a pen. I have an apple.
Hello everyone! Imagine what will happen if you mix these two controllers. This is the new Nyxi Ice Crack Joycons. It takes the design and LEDs of the Ice Cracking Pro controller and adds to the original Joycons. In the box, you'll get the Joycons, the manual, a grip for connecting the two controllers, and a USB Type-C cable. Here's a full look at the manual. You can pause the video to read any part that might interest you. The grip is the same as the ones in the black Joycons. You can use the grip with the original Joycons too, if you don't like the Nintendo grip. And here's the new Joycons. It feels exactly like the black Joycons, but with subtle changes to the design. The shoulder buttons here is slightly modified, a bit taller than the previous Joycons. In the back, you have the same back buttons and function keys. The D-pad is just like the one in the Pro controller. And the triggers are the same as the ones in the black Joycons. One small detail here is that the function buttons, both of them, have a round surface. And in the black Joycons, one of them is flat and the other is round. You can feel it with your fingers which button you're pressing. In the new one, you cannot distinguish them. Both Joycons have a Type-C charging port. But the black edition has this flat surface here, which allows you to place it on a desk in the upright position. In the new one, you don't have this feature, so you won't be able to use your Switch in the tabletop mode. These Joycons can be used sideways, so technically you're buying two controllers, and the back buttons are easily accessible when using them sideways too. By holding the T button and pressing on the analog sticks, you can cycle through all of the colors. Those are the same color presets of the Ice Cracking Pro controller. The face buttons also have a different design. They are flat on the surface. On the black Joycons, they have a round surface. And you can insert your Switch in the dock with the Joycons on. It's a little bit too tight, so it might scratch the painting with repeated insertions. It has a wake-up function, and the motion controls works well too. However, when playing Switch Sports, it might ask for an update. It'll stay in this update screen forever. So this is how you fix this. Just turn off the Joycons and turn them on back again, and then you can play normally.
Ready?
By holding the M button, you can select any other button to record it to the back buttons. And by holding the T button, you can activate turbo for any desired button. With the T and plus or minus combination, you can adjust the turbo speed. By repeating the same turbo combination, it will keep the turbo permanently on that button, and repeating the combination again turns it off. Please be aware that the left back button can be assigned only to the buttons on the left Joy-Cons, and vice versa. This happens because each Joy-Con talks directly to the Switch and not to one another, so there's no way of one Joy-Con to know which button you pressed on the other one. It could be done, but in order to do that, you would need to pair the Joy-Cons to one another and also pair it with the Switch. It would be a mess. The Dpad Test is just the same as the black Joy-Cons. The diagonals are still hard to press and you can't access them with one direction only. It feels slightly better than the black Joy-Cons, but for me it ruins the experience for fighting games or top-down RPGs like Earthbound. And for the analog sticks, it is the same. It still snaps to the axis. It might be good for platform or adventure games, but it's just not acceptable for any games that requires precision like shooters or MOBAs. And this is easily addressed with a firmware update. It's up to Nyxi to fix this. Holding the T button and moving the analog sticks up or down will change the rumble intensity. The controllers aren't supported on PC, but I found out that you can connect them via Bluetooth and use them with Switch emulators. Just be sure to select any under input devices, and you can configure your controllers normally. As expected on the Teardown, you can see that the board and components are the same as the ones in the black Joy-Cons. The analog stick is the same, and the same goes for the contact pads and switches. And the battery is a 500 mAh battery. Even the antenna position on the other side of the board. And that's it. On my final thoughts, if you already have the black Joy-Cons, you don't need to worry about upgrading. This is the same controller with a slightly different design, and it didn't fix any of the flaws of the black Joy-Cons either. I really wish that Nyxi would improve on the usability rather than the design, and if there's any firmware updates, I'll post a follow-up to this video. As always, if you like my content, feel free to subscribe, leave a comment and a like. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.